what is involved in this. As you can see that this is the structure of our course, 10 lectures. We have done 3 of them already, and today it is our lecture number 4, multiple choice questions, or simply you could say MCQs. This is part of the reading test. There are different types of questions in IELTS reading, but the most important are MCQs and sentence completion. As you can see from my previous lectures that sentence completion helps you to complete note completion and summary completion successfully, because they are very similar. So let us start lecture number 4 and see what is in this. First of all, you must understand that when you are doing a reading test, everything is in the text. Okay, so you don't have to worry about guessing, or you don't have to worry about your personal knowledge of the topic. So read the instructions for each part. For example, the word limit, etc. If the word limit is 3 words as your answers, or 2 words, or in some cases 1 word, stick to that, because that is very important. I have already said that if you write something which is above the word limit, your answer will not be considered even if it is correct. So you will get 0 mark for that. So be careful about that. Be careful about the time. Of course you have to do everything in the given time. Whatever the topic is, the answers are in the text, so don't panic. Yeah, as I said already, whatever the question is, whether difficult or easy, the answer is in the text. Reading the text carefully is extremely important. As I said earlier, except for these 4 skills, reading, writing, listening and speaking, there's another skill which is understanding, and that is the key to everything. Understanding the text is important. And how do you understand the text? If you have strong vocabulary, if you know different expressions, so not only you read the text in time, but then you understand the text. So start increasing your vocabulary. One way of increasing your vocabulary is read extensively, and the second way is whenever you read something, write down those difficult words and their meanings. I mean, you can do it online, you can use the hard copy of dictionary and repeat those words, practice those words in your spare time, leisure time. You can see that if you learn 10 words each day, in 30 days, in 1 month, you learn 300 words. It is a huge number. The importance of small things is extremely you could say critical in this test. So try to make a habit. Don't think that this is something very small, 10 words, what is that? Don't worry about that. You just focus on 10 words each day, and after a month you will see that it makes quite a big difference to your reading, comprehension, even writing. Okay, this is the test of your reading comprehension skills, not the knowledge of any topic. Yes, whatever is given, I mean the text, the passage that you are given, you understand that, you do all the questions well. That is it. Okay. In the MCQs, you will be asked to choose one correct option out of the 4. For example, A, B, C, D, sometimes 1, 2, 3, 4. You can pick the answer clearly by reading the text. For yes, no, or not given, you need to be extra careful. This is probably the area which is problematic for some students, but let us see what we do in this presentation. I hope that it will make your life easier. Okay, how to approach MCQs. So I've given some examples and their explanation so that you understand. So take each question individually and apply your knowledge and skills to sort it out. So the first thing is exclude the options which are completely irrelevant. For example, now these examples are simple, okay? I just want to make you understand the concept, okay? You won't get this type of questions in the actual reading module, but I mean, I just want to make it clear how important these strategies are. For example, the sentence is she is sitting in the armed chair. So you could see four pictures: A, B, C, and D. How to exclude things. I mean, we are trying to learn the principle of excluding the irrelevant options. A is an armed sofa, so this one. B is a settee, C is a chair, and D is an armchair. Now A and B are out of question, so these two options are irrelevant, out of question, so exclude them, eliminate them. You have to decide between C and D. Now this is a chair, this is a chair, so our options are now limited to. So as C is without arms, so D is the correct choice. You would say that, oh, this is so simple, but I mean, you are not learning how to do this question. You are learning the principles of eliminating the irrelevant options. So this is how you have to on every question you have to apply different kind of reasoning. So you understand that. So the answer is D. So we eliminated irrelevant options and we made our life easier, because choosing from four options is difficult as compared to choosing from two options. Okay. Next one. Read the stem before reading the choices. Stem is this. Okay, let me choose the pencil. This is your stem, or you could say read the question. If the stem gives you enough information, then read the choices and pick the right one. For example, the president of the USA is Brad Pitt, Barack Obama, David Cameron, Al Pacino. Obviously now Barack Obama is not the president, but this was just an example. Now the stem gives you enough information because A and C are actors. So this is the keyword, president. Now we have to see whether all of them are presidents or not. They are so Brad Pitt and Al Pacino are actors. C was the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom, David Cameron, and it is impossible for him to be the president of the USA because he is not the citizen of the USA. So option B is the only correct option. This is Barack Obama. So that is how you have to pick the keywords in the stem, and then first of all ask yourself, okay, let us choose the president. And first question, are these all of them presidents or no? So whosoever is not a president, and you know that they are either actors or sports person or prime ministers, cross them out. Okay, so this is also this is the second principle of eliminating the irrelevant options. Read all four choices with the stem one by one and choose the correct option. Now this is another technique, that if you are not sure, then what you do is read these options with the stem. So for example, she is married and she has 2 children. She is married and her husband is a businessman. She is married and is engaged. So in this way, if you read all four options one by one with the stem, they will look the same, but only option A is the correct answer grammatically and semantically. Just see what the stem says and what fits next. So this will give you an idea which option sits best. And also, one second, if the stem is talking about a topic, the next thing to come in front of it should be about the same topic. So we have, that tells you many things when you use this method of using or reading each of the choices with the stem, and that can make your life easier. Okay, one more thing. The most important thing is to read all the choices before deciding, otherwise you will choose the wrong one. Now, this is obviously never going to come in your IELTS exam, but I'm just trying to emphasize the importance of reading four options. Sometimes the first option or the second options look very attractive and they seem perfectly correct, but even then reading the four options will avoid you to make any mistakes. For example, the cow has four legs. Obviously everybody knows that the cow has four legs, and that is a perfect seems to be a perfect answer. This is the correct answer in this context, but this is MCQs. Remember, three legs no, five legs never. Do not pick any answer, and this is the right option. Why? We know that there is no question about the cow having four legs or not. If you read option A, you will be strongly dragged to go for it. Okay, but if you read all these options, the last one is do not pick any answer. So that means that if somebody is trying to check your observation, check your reading skills, then he might give you this type of thing. I remember once I had a class of 30 students, and I gave them a similar type of test, MCQs, which has got, like, I think it was 10 or 15 questions on top of that. And before giving them, I asked them to read the question very carefully and read the whole thing first of all these questions and all that stuff. Okay, so only one or two students did it perfectly. Why? Because my last question was, do not write anything on this paper. So some people who just got the sheet, the printed sheet, they started doing it. Oh, very good, I can do this, that. So they started doing it. But people who read the whole of the stuff that was written on that, when they came to the last one, the 10th one, it said do not write anything on that. And you see that they saved time, and they followed the instructions. So this is just to make you aware that observation, close reading, and careful reading will definitely help you. So read all four options before choosing any answer. This will definitely eliminate chances of error. The next thing is grammatical aspects in MCQs. The use of grammar can also help you in choosing the correct option. For example, he went to, and then you have four options: seeing his friend, met his friend, meeting his friend, see his friend. Now we must understand that the stem is in the past tense, and we have to look at the grammatical aspects, whether the next option fits here grammatically or not. The correct choice is D, because the stem ends in to, and after to it is impossible to use any other forms except for A, B options from A, B, and C. So for example, he went to see his friend. This is grammatically correct. He went to meeting his friend. Not correct, because we don't use meeting after to. He went to met his friend. Met is a past tense, and after to you cannot use a past tense. He went to seeing his friend. After to you cannot use ing form. So he went to see his friend. So this is grammar, and sometimes grammar can help you to choose the right options. So it means that you have to look for different options, different things. You have to look at the question from different perspectives and see which formula can apply. The next thing is another example of grammatical stuff. When I reached the station, the train had already left, was left, leave, been leaving. Okay, option A is correct because rest of them are impossible grammatically, as you cannot use any form of the verb other than the past participle after had. B has the past participle, but it is passive voice, and ha and was cannot come together. Okay, look at this. When I reached the station, this is the past participle. The train had already left. Okay, so had, and then you have already left. Was left is passive, leave is present tense, been leaving is perfect continuous tense. So you remember one thing, that this is the past perfect sentence, and the past perfect is made by had and past participle and simple past tense. So let me choose the pen. When I reach the station, this should be past tense, simple past tense, and the second should be past perfect. Past perfect is made with had and then the past participle form of the verb. So leave, left, and left, the third form you could say. So this is how the combination works properly. Rest of them do not fit, because after had you cannot use was, after had you cannot use leave, after had you can use been, but we have to look at this thing as well. So the train had been leaving. That's if it is on its own, the train had been leaving, fine, but we are not doing on its own. We are doing it with the past simple past tense. So option A is the correct option. Next, it's very important. You always use present form of the verb after to, and the past participle form of the verb after has, have, and had. For example, I am going to read. You could see that to and read, first form or the simple present tense. She has to come. Has is once again to and come. Now has done, they have gone, and I had finished. So done, gone, and finished, all of them are past participle form. So the third form you could say. So has, have, and had take past participle form after them. So this is simple and clean. No other form can be used after has, have, and had. So that makes your life easier. Next question: how to approach yes, no, and not given. Read the text carefully. Look at the information in the whole statement, not part of it. I mean, you have to look at the thing as a whole, not just one part. For example, the text is, for example, this is the text, this is the passage that you are given. There has been a rapid increase in the use of the mobile phones over the last 10 years. No exercise. Mobile phone usage has risen over the last 10 years. This is your question. Now you have to decide whether this is the correct answer or this is the wrong answer. And the answer is yes, because look at that, answer is yes. Why? Because we have 10 years here, we have a risen here, and we have increase here, and we have 10 years here. So this information matches. That's why the answer is yes. Number 2 example: mobile phone usage has risen over the last 10 years. This is your text and exercise. There was a rapid increase in the mobile phone usage. Now, what is that? Is that yes? Is that no? Or is that not given? The answer is not given. Why? Because we do not know the time scale in which there was a rapid increase. Look at this. Mobile phone usage has risen, increased over the last 10 years. Okay, so there has been an increase in the mobile phone usage in the last 10 years. Here it says rapid increase. This does not say rapid increase. Okay, if we say there is something about increase, that's fine in the mobile phone usage. Now we don't have any time here. This could be in the last 20 years, this could be in the last 5 years, this could be in the last 2 years. So this is fine, this is okay on its own, but in the text it is not given. Okay, but you cannot say no. Why? Because it says mobile rapid increase. There has been a rapid increase, but this thing is not mentioned in this text. What is mentioned in this text is 10 years, rapid increase, mobile phone usage. So you understand that, I'm sure. Now, there is a question which answers no. There has been a rapid increase in the use of mobile phones over the last 10 years. So I'm using almost the same text or same statement. So what is the question? Mobile phone usage did not rise rapidly over the period. So there has been a rapid increase. We know that it talks about increase, and it also talks about 10 years. And what has increased? Mobile phone usage. Okay, now let us compare. Mobile phone is present here, usage. Okay, this one thing did not rise. It says it increased, it says did not rise. So these two are contradictory. They oppose each other. Rapidly over the period, a period is not you could say specified, but the main thing is that these two things contradict each other. One says, I mean, in simple terms, one says yes, one says no. So this answer is no. Do you understand that now? Now let me summarize that. If the statement contradicts, I mean, if the question or the statement contradicts what is in the text, the answer is no. Yeah, if the statement gives you information which is not present in the text, the answer is not given. And if everything matches, the answer is yes. Although it seems very simple, but obviously you have to read carefully. Next. There has been a rapid increase in the use of mobile phones over the last 10 years. Now, there is another way of this statement, which is no. Mobile phone users rose slowly. Okay, now this is rapid increase, this is slow increase. So obviously we are talking about rapid increase, not slow increase. So that is also no, because in a way it is contradicting the passage. Right. Now we are going to talk about some strategies here to choose the correct option in MCQs. Number one, I mean, we have done that, but now they are summarized. Eliminate options you know to be incorrect. If allowed, mark words or alternatives in the question that eliminate options. So first of all, remove the nonsense options or irrelevant options. It is easy to pick your answer from 2 rather than 4, as I said earlier. Next, give each option of a question the true-false test. Okay, whatever you read, ask yourself whether it's true, whether it's false, and that will lead you to the right answer. This may reduce your selection to the best answer. Number 3, question options that are totally unfamiliar to you. The question means ask yourself, is that true? Can that be true? For example, Italy is known as a shoe of Europe, the boot of Europe, jacket of Europe, or biggest country of Europe. Now, options C and D seem totally unfamiliar because you might have seen the map of Italy, which looks like a boot. Now that you have to decide between A and B, you can use your knowledge of geography to choose B as the correct option. So these are two irrelevant options. I mean, question them whether they are, I mean, have you heard about them? They are familiar to you? No. But if you look at the map, it looks like a boot. So come back to these options. Now, you haven't read about this question. You have no knowledge, but this is something totally irrelevant. So this looks familiar if we look at the map. Now, shoe of the Europe and boot of the Europe. So if you have to make an educated guess, then choose the boot of Europe because it looks like a boot. It is not a shoe. Okay, so this is the correct option. All of the above. If you know 3 of the 4 options seem correct, all of the above is the strong possibility. For example, London is the seat of the British government. Seems correct because this is where the capital is. Capital city in the UK, yes, we know that. the biggest cultural center of the world. We know that too. So see that out of 4 options, 3 of them are correct. So the answer should be all of the above. Why? Because all of them are correct. Now, if you choose only one of these first 3, for example, capital city of the UK, it is correct, absolutely fine. But these 2 are correct as well. So that is why, once again, my point comes back to haunt us. And the point was, read all 4 options, even if the first one is 100% correct. Number 5, double negatives. Create the equivalent positive statement. I didn't say no to your offer. So see that we have didn't, we have no. So I said yes, that means I said no. I didn't listen to your offer, I said something. These 2 are irrelevant, or I say nonsense options. The correct answer is A only. See the rule on the next slide. I mean, this is mathematics now. A double negative statement is equal to a positive statement. This is a simple mathematics formula. A minus multiplied by minus is equal to plus. I mean, this is so very easy. You all know better than I do. Minus 2 multiplied by minus 2 becomes plus 4. In English, if there are 2 negative sentences, they mean positive. For example, you don't get nothing. I mean, this is the slang way of saying things, not the standard. So it actually means you get something. So negative makes it positive. So be careful about that. Echo options. If 2 options are opposite each other, chances are one of them is correct. For example, Britain is a monarchy, constitutional monarchy, or a republic. So you remember that if 2 options are opposite to each other, option A and option D are opposite to each other. A refers to the Queen or the King, whereas B refers to the Queen and the Parliament both. So B is the correct choice. UK is not a republic. What did I say here? A and D are opposite to each other. No, sorry, it is B. My mistake. It is B. Okay, whereas B refers to the Queen. So B is the correct choice. UK is not a republic. It has no president. It's not a republic. Right, so these 2 are opposite to each other. Monarchy is a form of government where the king rules and heads the government, whereas constitutional monarchy means that there is a constitution, which means there is a parliament, and then there is monarchy as well. So this is what the UK is actually. So this one is opposite to that one. So one of them is correct. Okay, so, and this is out of question. This is irrelevant option. If 2 alternatives seem correct, then what you have to do is compare them for differences, then refer to this stem to find your best answer. For example, Britain is a monarchy or a constitutional monarchy. I mean, if you have deep knowledge, then you can tell that this is constitutional monarchy. But if you have read about it lightly, then both of them seem correct. These options are opposite, but to some students they might seem the same. If you compare the differences, the word constitutional makes it clear because the Queen or the King does not run the affairs of the government. So who runs the affairs of the government? It is the Prime Minister. Okay, so that means constitutional monarchy is the correct option. Read through the text quickly and answer the easiest questions first. This is how you save your time. Mark those you think you know in some way that is appropriate. Read through the text a second time and answer more difficult questions. You may pick up cues for answers from the first reading or become more comfortable in the testing situation. So it is a kind of giving your mind some stimulus. So read the text first, do the simple questions. Meanwhile, your brain will start working on the text. I mean, start absorbing, sorting out, and all that stuff. So the next time when you come back to those questions, you will find them easy as well. Which first seemed very difficult. Guessing game. Okay, use the strategy only when there is no negative marking and when there is no other choice. Means that if you know that guessing won't give you any disadvantage, then fine. But it is only done when there is no other option. So always guess when there is no penalty for guessing. Do not guess if you are penalized. Use hints from questions you know to answer, and change your first answer when you are sure of the correction. So guessing game is not just closing your eyes and putting your pencil on one of them, but guess according to the clues, and give do an educated guess so that you land on the correct option. Okay, if there is no other option, but don't ever skip a question. Okay, that means 100% 0 marks. So if you take a chance, there are chances that it might be correct, it might be wrong, but if you skip the question, if you leave it out, then obviously you are earning a 0 for that. Okay, hopefully this thanks for watching and all the best. If you have any questions, you can ask me. Obviously this is a presentation, I cannot go into that detail. There are so many things, especially grammatical issues, the structural issues that need quite a lot of attention, but it's just to give you an idea how to do things. So my suggestion is to read as much as you can, read the past papers, and that will definitely help you. I wish you all the best. Thank you very much, and bye.